All right, we are definitely live. That's amazing. This is recorded. We're live on Clubhouse, YouTube, and Facebook. So let's get started. Welcome to a broadcast brought to you by Meant for Her. And for those who are new to our organization, Meant for Her is a women social enterprise providing real time solutions that helps women in many ways achieve their dreams. So we are here to inspire you. We are here to equip you. We are here to empower you so that you can be connected to make net worth connections. So let's get started. Today's topic is something that really excites me to talk about because I believe a lot of women need to hear it. A lot of women need to know more about this topic and how to overcome it. So we are talking about the AA syndrome. The AA syndrome. Can anyone guess what that stands for? The AA syndrome. So, for our listeners on YouTube, our listeners on Clubhouse, and our listeners on Facebook, can you just guess what the AA syndrome is? It's a syndrome that really cripples a lot of women from achieving their dreams. It is a syndrome that cripples many, especially women, from achieving their dreams. Can you guess what it is? Give you a few, and I'll let the cat out of the bag. Before we get too deep into today's topic, the AA syndrome, I just want to give a recap on Her Dreams Take Flight. Her Dreams Take Flight event was a huge success. And I want to give a public thank you to our sponsors, Carson Aesthetics, BC Wellness Teas, Face Front Skin, and also we had Hardy Homes LLC. We also had D Number One Media sponsoring, and these organizations, we couldn't have done it without them. And also JAH Financial Services out of Portland, Connecticut. They are a tax company and a financial services company, and they also provide real estate services. You definitely want to check out these organizations. They helped us get Her Dreams Take Flight onto helping and impacting women's lives like never before. Just a little recap on that event. It was amazing. Women were in Her Dreams Take Flight talking about how much impact Meant for Her made in their lives and how they are now equipped. We went beyond the inspiration. They are now equipped and empowered to go after their dreams. No, we are not out here selling master classes. We are not out here selling you, a good, quick, get rich scheme. Meant for Her is here to do work with women. Her Dreams Take Flight was a huge success. 6 women are well on their way to building the dream life that they deserve and that they are meant to be and to do. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. And also, thank you to our wonderful coaches. Couldn't have done it without you. Jimmy Tayway of the Jimmy Tayway Company. We had Josette Hill from JAH Financial Services. We had Connie Gunther of the Gunther Services. We had phenomenal coaches like Julius Omakunu from the Omakunu Company. We have phenomenal speakers in different areas that were able to show the women how to dream big and realize the dream. And of course, you had me as well, coaching the women how to scale their dreams and how to make it sustainable. It was phenomenal. So before we wanted to get into today's topic, the AA syndrome, I gave you guys a little time to figure it out. Have you figured it out? What does AA syndrome mean? And as I began to reflect on this topic, it really became evident that it's a topic that needs to be discussed. The AA syndrome, who knows what it means? Can anyone guess? Before I let the cat out of the bag, can we guess what it is? The AA syndrome is what we're talking about. The A stands for acknowledgement, and the second A stands for acceptance. When you pair these two together, it is disastrous. It is a disastrous syndrome to have as a woman. Is it something you can overcome? Certainly, and we will be talking about how to do that today. You feel stuck and you're wondering, why can you not just go after your dreams and knock it out? I see other women doing it. You walk into rooms feeling like an imposter. I can guarantee you one of your syndromes and one of your reasons, your root causes is the AA syndrome, acceptance and acknowledgement syndrome. It's something that plagues a lot of us who have broken self-esteem. When you are looking for others to validate your dreams, to validate you, the real true root cause is that you have a broken self-esteem system. You're still looking for people to validate what it is that you know deep down inside you were created to do. Deep down inside you were meant to be. And you're still waiting for people to come along and accept it and accept you and accept your dreams. I want to encourage you today. The first person that needs to accept and acknowledge you is you. You have the power within you to really unlock the greatness that you possess, the greatness that is within you. And what's really been holding you is worrying about the opinion of other people. It's you worrying about what will they say? Who cares what they say? And I know you're saying, Vanessa, well, it's so easy for you to say that. You seem very confident. You seem, like a go-getter. Yes, I'm all those things, but I had to work on it. It wasn't always the case. I once had a broken self-esteem syndrome, but these days I've learned along the years that no, I don't need the acceptance. I don't need the acknowledgement. And the people who will come alongside and accept you for who you are, they will love you for who you are. The gifts that are within you, they will cherish it. They will, want it. They will need it. One thing that will help you overcome this syndrome is to know that you are not created to be accepted and acknowledged by every single person on this planet. And that is okay. At Her Dreams Take Flight, one of the coaches said something so pivotal at the opening. He said that if you want to be wealthy, you need to surround yourself with wealth. Because what you hear and what you see becomes your reality. Well, with the AA syndrome, one of your cures is going to be who you surround yourself with. Perhaps you need to stop surrounding yourself with people who do not accept and acknowledge you. Surround yourself with people who acknowledge you, who accept you for who you are, not because you're trying to become something else, not because you're being outside of your own self. No, simply because you are being you. Pay attention to your circle. Pay attention to how people make you feel. If a place or a person makes you feel small, you need to change that atmosphere. You need to check out of that relationship. The AA syndrome will keep you held in a place of frustration. It will keep you held in a place where you never realize your dreams. I overcame this by first accepting myself, accepting all of me, learning about me. It's the first person you need to prove to is yourself. And when you come to that place where you no longer really seek the opinions of people in a way of validation, now it's okay to ask for people's opinions, and it's okay to, seek recommendations and feedback, but also make sure you're getting that recommendation and feedback from circles that really have your vested interest. Even if they give you, critical feedback, it's not going to come from a place to tear you down. A lot of us have been in relationships, and these relationships are not just, marital relationships and friendships. It could even be business or career relationships, job relationships, where the other party is continuously tearing you down. Remove yourself from those circumstances. And really the AA syndrome, the acceptance and acknowledgement syndrome, starts even at childhood. It starts before you go out and get that job. It starts before you go out and marry that person. It starts before you get into that courtship. It starts all before you even get into relationships with friends. It starts in your childhood. It starts in a place where parents are not validating their children. They're not building their children's self-esteem. Instead, they're tearing it down. So perhaps, this came from a place in your childhood where you constantly heard, negative criticism. And now you're continuously trying to prove yourself to people. You're continuously trying to show people that, look, I've got it. The only person you have to prove to is you. And you're saying, well, Vanessa, that sounds very easy to say. But I want you to make a deep reflection and ask yourself, no, sincerely, I want you to take a deep reflection. I want you to go over the years where you've been trying to prove yourself to people, when you've tried to prove yourself by doing things, when you've tried to prove yourself by, be rendering services and things like that, when you've tried to prove yourself all the time. How far has it taken you in your dreams? How far has it helped you overcome the limitation of acceptance and acknowledgement syndrome? It doesn't work. It doesn't help. You Instead, what you do feel is this void and an emptiness. You continue to go down this road of trying to seek people's approvals. And when in essence, really the only person that you have to seek approval from is within you. So, you're feeling stuck. You're saying, I can't accomplish my dreams. My goals are being unmet. I feel heavy. I feel depressed. I can't move. I feel like anytime I want to take another step, something keeps holding me back. This is an area we really at Meant for Her want you to look at. We want you to uncover it. We want you to get help in it. Because if you're continuously chasing after the opinions of people, you're going to burn out. You're continuously chasing after the acceptance of people, you're going to burn out. The first place to start is with you. After you've done the self-reflection, I want you to make a list of what you like about yourself. I want you to dig real deep. I mean, dig in there. What are the traits about you that you absolutely love? It doesn't matter if others don't love it. Could be, I like the way my hair is. I like the way I speak. I like, the way I write. I like the way I like the way I swim. Whatever it is, I like the way I'm able to assess and analyze data in a way where it comes out to be meaningful. Whatever that is, I like the way, I bake. Start to make a list of the things that you like about yourself. Focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses. Once you've made that list, now I want you to write a statement alongside each one of those. I want you to write a statement alongside each one of those likes that you have of yourself. And then alongside that, I want you to start to envision and research how those things about you are actually liked by people that you may not necessarily know. So, for example, I love to bake. Do research on baking. Look at how many, Food Network channels there are on baking. How many recipe books have been written? Study, people who have been in that field. And then I want you to then reflect again and realize that what you possess is valuable to other people. It's valuable in the society. It's of value to others. And this begins the road to recovery from the AA syndrome, accepting who you are. So the first part is you accepting you acknowledging, right? So to accept is to know, here are my strengths. You can also do your weaknesses. Do a SWOT analysis. These are my strengths. Here are my weaknesses. Here are my opportunity areas. Here are areas that I can improve in. And here are some of my threats. And the threats, you can think about them as triggers. Here are some of my threats. What are some of the things that constantly derails me from achieving my dreams and my goals? And for many, it's this AA syndrome. Acceptance and acknowledgement, constantly looking for people's opinions, constantly waiting for someone to validate you before you take that step in that area, on that business, on that, that dream that you have. I want to travel the world. What's stopping you? Make a plan and make it happen. Right? Well, welcome, Clarice. Make a step and make it happen. What is stopping you? One of the things I want to encourage you with is have a reflection on the year 2020, a year where so many uncertainties, so many people, passed on. I bet you amongst people who passed on, who are no longer with us today, they had dreams, they had goals, and I can guarantee you they have regrets that they never made those dreams happen. When you start to think in that sense of, life is not, it's not infinity. It's not forever. There's a time that I'm here, that I'm placed on this earth for. Then you start to make decisions outside of acceptance and acknowledgement. You start to look at the bigger picture. There are people out there waiting for what I possess. That's why I encourage you to make that list. First, start with the acceptance of yourself. Make a list of the things that you like about yourself. Focus on your strengths first. And then you can, after you've done the acceptance part and writing down what your strengths are, do the research. Who are other people that have those type of strengths? What are they doing with it? What are people who are great cooks and bakers? What do they do with it? People who are great swimmers, what do they do with it? What are the different avenues to uncover this value that you possess? You may say, all I know, I'm a great swimmer. Well, there are people who can't swim. Go be a swimming coach. I started to learn how to swim at the age of 30. I used to be terrified of swimming. And I remember looking at my coach like, I can't believe this woman is so great in the water. Stop waiting for people to acknowledge and accept you. Acknowledge and accept yourself. Now address those areas of weaknesses. Address those areas where you feel short in, but don't focus on them. Address the opportunities and the threats. Don't focus on them. Put together a plan to overcome those. Put together a plan to maximize your strength so that your weaknesses are so small. In comparison, it doesn't matter. Ask yourself, what has acceptance and acknowledgement done for you lately? I can guarantee you, when you start to accept and acknowledge you and love you from within, others will follow suit. And the people and the things and the places that don't, you start to dismiss them. When a place or a person no longer serves you, it's time to move on. It could come from a relationship, a job, a place where it constantly makes you having to revalidate yourself. It's time to move on. It's time to find circles like Meant for Her, where your dreams, who you are, and the gifts and the talents that are within you are looked upon as value and honed on and brought out into the light so you can monetize it. You can, acknowledge it for yourself so that the world gets to know what's in you. People are waiting for what's inside of you. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you, writer. You may be thinking, I just scribble these words down and sometimes I put cartoons together. What's wrong with me? I'm weird. You might be the next great author. You might be the next great, author of children's books and things of such. Look up people who are in that space. Stop waiting for other people to acknowledge and accept you before you move into what you're meant to be and what you're meant to do. I mean, we had a privilege of impacting the lives of women this past 2 weeks. And it was phenomenal to see women come out of that place of imposter syndrome where they don't feel like, they can make it. They don't feel like they can take up the room and the space. And we taught them how to be bold about their dreams. Go forward. Stop waiting for somebody to make it happen. One of our coaches, Jimmy Tayway, said something so pivotal and so profound, and it's similar to something that I say, and I'll give both of those quotes. Jimmy said, you're either going to, live a life where you get to pick what you eat, or what you eat, is dictated to you. You go to a cafeteria. He's like, life is like a cafeteria. You could go where, they're telling you what you can eat. Or life can be a buffet where you decide what you get to eat. It's time, women, ladies, it's time for you to rise up and become all you're meant to be. I also say something similar. You're either on the menu or you're the one creating the menu. You're either on the menu or you're creating the menu. You're either on that menu or you're being, eaten. This world, no one is going to do it for you. Like I said previously, there are many people who have, with the pandemic, who have passed on and they never got to achieve their dreams. Don't add yourself to that number when it's all said and done. When you say you look back and you reflect and you're like, I never got to do those things I wanted to do. I never got to volunteer and help children. I never got to build that business. I never got to write that book. I never got to make that recipe book. I've been wanting to make that recipe book for years. You're thinking, well, who's going to want my recipe book? You never know. Well, if you don't try it, how will you know? And if you don't get with a great organization like Meant for Her, how will you ever know? Who is here to push you and bring out the greatness and the goodness in you? How will you know? And one of the things, and many people say, well, is it abnormal to want acceptance and acknowledgement? Absolutely not. It is natural. However, when it's in a place where it's driving you to the negative, a negative place where you're constantly looking for acknowledgement and validation before you do anything, then there's an issue. That's what we're talking about today. There's an issue where it's stopping you from going after your dreams. We all need acknowledgement. We all need acceptance. And there are different ways of getting it. But the first place is with you before you reach to the external. And with the external, I said it earlier, surround yourself with people who accept you for who you are and will push you to be better. Surround yourself with people who say, I believe in all that you have to offer. And I think there's even greater within you. So surrounding yourself with people like that, it brings you to that place where there's no stopping you. There's no longer limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs tells us that, well, I need people to accept and acknowledge me first before I go after my dreams. Absolutely not. When you start taking those steps to achieve your dreams, the people will follow. The acceptance and acknowledgement will follow. It is natural. But make sure you're getting it from a place of positivity and not from people who will tear you down and invalidate your dreams and goals. So with that said, it's a very short session today. I really just wanted to come out and inspire you. And hopefully, through this, you are inspired and you want to move beyond that inspiration phase and into the equipment phase, into the empowerment phase, into the connected phase. You can reach us at meantforher.org. We are available at meantforher.org. that's showing right now on the screen. We are available at meantforher.org. Reach out to us, or you can send us an email at mt4her, the letter M, the letter T, the number 4, HER, at meantforher.org. We look forward to speaking with you shortly. All right, take care and have a wonderful day, ladies.